Hey guys, Chris Cohen back with you on Cece's Aquatic Adventures, and one of the best parts of the new house we moved in is um, going to my backyard oasis. Um, I love it back here. Um, as you can see, we did some landscaping. Um, the problem we have is a lot of this sun beats down over here, so um, the plants aren't as blooming as much. But today you can see um, all the lilies are blooming. Um, Actually, I gotta pick up that plant that's in the pond that fell. But as you can see, everything is just gorgeous blooming. Today's a nice day. Highs gonna be like 82. We've been getting like 86. I think a lot of times a lot of these plants are get sunburned and get some of their foliage turns yellow, like the arrow plant I got right there. I just moved these plants yesterday. I'm trying to get better life out of them, or better blooms out of them. As you can see, we got some blooms right here coming up. The lily, the iris, I moved to get more sunlight and get them out of the water. They're in deep water. I wanted to put them in shallow water, but I moved the. You can see we're doing better with the lilies. They're getting better. The water hyacinths have bloomed flowers, as you can see. They're absolutely gorgeous. I was having an issue with these hyacinths moving, and so what I did was tie them down with some fishing line, just so they're not flowing into the filter. Which this is a high. The pump is very, very strong, so a lot of times it'll suck everything in this way. Now you can see the goldfish in there. I don't know if you can see them, but as you can see, they're very, very active today. Now, you may think the pond water is dirty. It's not dirty. It's just the fact that there's a lot of muck that we still haven't been able to get a vacuum yet to clean up. But I say, why touch it if I'm getting this growth? Look at the size of that plant. I mean, we're getting some growth. Why would I change it? You know what I mean? I'm just concerned about the arrow plant. I'm trying to decide if I want to keep it there or move it back over here. The sun is beating down right now, but I noticed this morning it was behind the house, and there's less sun on this side. But again, I checked it this morning about 10 o'clock. It's like 2 hours later. So, I may change these around, but in actuality, we're not supposed to have these guys in direct sunlight. But I mean, I figured there might be a little more shade over there with all the tiger lilies. But for now, we're gonna leave it. I may move it later. You can see little sprigs coming out the side there. And I moved some of the arrow plants over there. So we're getting good growth and life in here. I don't particularly like making any changes if we have good growth. And you can see the fish are getting huge. There's a goldfish. I try to keep up with the maintenance. I change the pads almost every day. These guys, I kind of like the fact that it's a little murky, so the fish they don't have predators come down. But I will get a vacuum eventually and clean all this out. But once the season's over, we're going to get in here, clean everything out, vacuum it, take all the rocks out that we can, probably drain the whole thing, and just start over again. And we'll get a lot of this muck that's in the bottom. There's stuff that you could buy in the store that gets all the muck up, but I can still see the bottom, so there's no reason for me to get anything for the muck. And the fish are doing great. And there's always some kind of thing they can eat. I got tadpoles. I got frogs in here that like to eat stuff on the side. So we're gonna leave it the way it is right now. You can see the fish. There are like plenty of hiding places. The rocks. You see the new ones down in the bottom there. Those two guys are swimming all over the place. If you come out here at night when the sun goes down, and this side kind of shady, you see the fish swimming in the waterfall, which is really funny. But they're very active fish. And as you can see, like I said, I'll come back here a little bit and show you what we got going on. But you can see we got some tremendous growth in here. Everything's looking good. Like I said, we landscaped this. I actually did some weeding the other day, so it looks a little better. As you can see, there's some sedum next to that rock on the top there in the shade. I planted that, and there was some sedum back behind here that was kind of like buried in those tiger lilies. So what I did was actually I put some over here too, next to the pond. It's good ground cover. They'll usually spread it. I planted it late, but next year it's an annual, so it'll come out back next year. We're trying to get some flowers out of there. You can see the ones that I'm not sure what the difference the name is, but the ones that are in the ground right there, the pink flowers, those are flowering. The other ones behind it there, I can't seem to get the flower yet, so we're still waiting. But one thing I did notice with this landscaping is you really have to get into watering. Like, you gotta water every single day. I water at night when the sun goes down. I water. It takes me about 2 hours to water this whole backyard. If you go back, this is the whole backyard that we do, and we try to keep it pretty. You know, this is pretty much our living space back here, but we take care of the back. And sometimes I go up front and do some stuff up there, but she takes care of that. But this is, like I said, my backyard oasis. Now we did have a plant that we took from another pond, which is in that blue planter, but I can't think of the name of the plant. But I do recognize it growing a little bit, but I didn't want to put it in the pond directly because we had some issues with some of the fish that I went over and treated and helped. So I didn't want to put that right in the pond because it could carry disease. So what I'll do is I'll let it sit in that blue bucket, see if I can get it to grow. There are some dead leaves in there. That's how to take out. But I wanted to keep it in there because I didn't want to put it in the pond. I probably could put it in the pond now, but I think we're overflowed with plants. Although I think that would look good in the middle of the pond. But you can see that this is a lot of cover for the pond for fish. But I'm also going to try to get rid of some of these. I'm selling a lot of these hyacinths for $1 a piece to get rid of some of them. And you can see these here are still in the what do you call it, the hula hoop thing I made. It's growing out of the hula hoop, so I left it right here for now. And it seemed like I planted it the other day and moved it over here. It seemed like it's doubled overnight. Like, seriously, they're going crazy. So, like I said, in any pond that you have plants in it, the nutrients from the fish and the bacteria, I put, like I said, I put some lava rock, old lava rock in the plants to make the plants grow so much better. I planted almost everything in this pond with lava rock. And you can see the plants do great. Now, we do have some dead leaves in there, but you see, for the most part, that is doing pretty good. I put a bubble in there. If it still grows up, I'm going to keep it the way it is. But if it continues to die like that, I think I might just move it. And one thing we do notice around here, we get beautiful butterflies too. You can look at that black one there, but we get a lot of beautiful butterflies. And the bees are always in these plants here. The bees are awesome. But I'll probably get out here later on and kind of fix this plant. But like I said, we're only putting that in there because of the fact that Um, I didn't want to put it in this pond and have anything happen to the fish. But I think once I get these water hyacinths dwindle down, and I get some people to buy them, or even, I might even get rid of them. I might even just get rid of them and give them to people. I might just leave it the way it is. Like I said, some of these plants, like the arrow plant, in direct sunlight is not good for them, but I feel like I may have to move that one over here. But I'm going to keep an eye on it, see when the sun goes down, if it's worth it for me to, change it. But anyway, everything is looking great, as you can see. Blooming, fish are doing great. Even the plants that I planted in the waterfall. You can see this one here is just going crazy. It's like all the way down the waterfall, coming out the side. And I like it natural, so I don't trim anything. I leave it the way it is. A lot of the stuff back here, I haven't touched. I just water it every day. I don't want to touch it and mess anything up. I think it looks beautiful, natural. Once these plants grow in here, it's going to look awesome. But a lot of the stuff we're looking for ideas for next year, and this is what we're mostly doing is next year's stuff. And we're going to get in here and we're going to really do some changes here. Once we get it cleaned up, obviously we know we can keep the water crystal clear. What you're seeing though, like I said, is just a lot of the muck that was in here already that's kicked up. Unfortunately, this filter, is not a regular normal filter, so it's not sucking anything from the inside of, it's not sucking up any debris on the bottom. This is why I need to get a vacuum. This just sucks the water in and returns it back up to the waterfall. So when this goes through here, it goes up to the waterfall and comes back down. So all it's doing is sucking the water in when it comes down. So it sucks the water coming in. The new water here. That's the new water coming in. This sucks the water in. That's pretty much the waterfall thing. But I turned it into a filter, so I had filter pads in there. I may want to do it over again. You can see the goldfish down there. Getting big. But yeah, so this is not a prototypical filter for a pond. It's just mostly a waterfall pond. Now, if it was up to me, I would put this on that side, because what happens is that this is flowing around the pond. Okay, and I know you have the waterfall on that side too, but it seems like everything is just. And I don't think you need two waterfalls, honestly. But when it flows that way, it doesn't go into anywhere. So if we had the waterfall coming down and you had a filter over there, it would be flowing into the new water, would be flowing through the filter and in and out to the filter there, and then throw it back up to the waterfall. That's what I would prefer to do. I'm not going to move it, but if it was up to me, if I build this pond, this would be on the other side. But yeah, like I said, we'll get this cleaned up once I get a vacuum. Once I get a lot of these rocks that are in the pond, we'll move up and make it a wall. But I kind of like the fact that these fish can swim into the rocks and hide. Obviously, we got the water hyacinth, but once these plants die, they're not gonna have a place to hide. So I like to have them in rocks there. So I may keep some rocks in there, but this is all gonna be emptied and cleaned out. Unless I'm trying to get someone to borrow one. If not, I'm gonna buy one, just to suck the dirt and debris up. And someone told me, well, why don't you just use muck proof or whatever? Well, the thing with muck proof is that we don't have the type of filtration that is going to be able to handle that type of, of cleaning process. I guess you would say, or the debris that's going to come up when you put the muck clean in there. It's going to filter through the filter, and I change these pads almost once a day, sometimes twice once every other day. So I really feel like if we put any more debris in there or any more, you know, whatever, I feel like that is going to affect the way this pond runs. So we're going to skip that for now. But like I said, guys, this is what we got going on with the pond. We got great life, great growth. I take care of this pond almost every day. I can't wait for the season to end so we can get this pond the way I want it to look. But you can see it's full. The only issue I have is getting in and out, is working in there and trying to work around the plants. So that's another issue. But getting these plants moved yesterday was a pain in the neck. But I like the way it's set up now. Only thing I'm concerned about is that arrow plant. Well, I do realize that there's more growth on that side, like the new ones I grew, the smaller ones that I took, the sprigs I took out of that are growing over here now. So I kind of like that. So we'll see, and we're gonna keep it the way it is now, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, this is the pond, guys. This is my pride and joy. I've been working on this really hard. And we keep it nice and clean and the landscape. I know it looks a little overgrown, but I kind of like the natural look. I'm not going to change it. You know what I mean? I like the way it looks natural. It attracts a lot of animals. I do see a lot of animals coming here. Deer, chipmunks, all kinds of different animals come in here. I see a lot of frogs. Although I think the goldfish have taken over the habitat, which I'm totally fine with. I'm not a big fan of a lot of frogs, but I do see a lot of tree frogs on the outside. A lot of them hatched, and they're running all over the place, along with the salamanders. So there's a bunch of tree frogs that did hatch, and tree frogs don't really live in the water. They come out, but they'll go back in the water eventually, but they don't get big enough to eat those goldfish. The goldfish are really big. If you get a bullfrog, that's a different story. But as you can see, that one plant, I can't think of the name of that plant. Like, I'm not good with naming plants, but you can see the roots all the way, and that's so good for the habitat and for the water. But anyway, guys, remember, if you can't own them, rehome them. We're going to be doing a video on the fish room next. I'm hoping to get more fish here soon. We had some unfortunate incidents in the fish room that I need to tell you about for next time. I'll save that for the next video, and I'll show you what's going on. So for now, we'll see you guys next time, and hopefully you have a great day and all your dreams come true, and I will see you next time. Thanks.